All right, family, it's your brother Assad, and Adrian isn't here. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it's rough being without my friend, man. You know, that's my little best friend right there. Yeah, she is in Rwanda for business. And man, she's been there about 4 days now. And she has about 4 more days there. And it is rough being without her. I miss her. So, you know, if y'all know what it's like to miss your best friend, your soulmate, your partner, your buddy, whatever y'all call them, your tenderoni. It's tenderoni. That's how old I am. I still use tenderoni. But y'all leave a little heart in the comment section. But back to the intro, and we are back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, I got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to my South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. My wife, myself, my children, we greatly appreciate it. Third, in terms of housekeeping, yes, the meetup. I know I've been promising the meetup since before Ramadan, but the meetup is on its way back. We found a new, it's not new, but we found one that we didn't know, a new restaurant that we didn't know was black owned, partially black owned. So we say, well, that works. That's right, because ownership and equity matters, right? So we are working on the new meetup, and we will let you guys know about that soon and very soon. So I am out here today, still walking as usual. No selfie stick, as usual. Bam, 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 just like that. Bam, 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 just like that. So, yeah, so we could talk briefly, momentarily, about home and the concept of home. And with Adrian being gone, you know, there must be an examination of the idea of the theory of home. Is home a building, a house? No, Luther Vandross told us a long time. The great philosophical musician Luther Vandross, he told us that a house is not a home. The great philosophical musician Luther Vandross told us that a house is not a home. No, a house is not a home. Is your home the city that you're from? Like people say, I always say I'm from New Orleans. That's home. Is home the place that is it your city? Interesting. I say, well, there are people who live in Johannesburg like myself, right? And I'm from New Orleans. But when I've been out for a long day in Josie and been ripping and running, going to Pick and Pay, going to a game, going to the Mall of Africa, whoop-de-whoop, I said, man, I can't wait to get home. I ain't talking about New Orleans, right? I ain't talking about New Orleans, I'm talking about the house we have here in Johannesburg. So then that means that home can be more than one thing, I would guess, right? Right? I used to think the house that I grew up in was home, right? I left home at 18. I left my parents' house at 18. Went to college and I had my own place, but I had no money. So that means I would go home every day and see what my mama cooked. See what even if she wasn't home, I'm raiding the refrigerator, you know, making sure, look, stealing toilet tissue. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you 18, you don't think, ooh. Yeah, I mean, I learned my lesson. Two things you always got to have in the house. That's toilet tissue and some water. Yeah, got to have those things in the house. You might not have no food, You need you some toilet tissue. That's a bad situation, big brother. All right, how you doing? So, but I left home at 18, and I always envisioned that house that I grew up in as home. I just knew I knew that as home. But then they sold the house. Yeah, I mean, they sold the house when I was like 30 years old. And I still, when I went to the United States, week before last, when I was in the United States, I still passed by that house to look at it. And we haven't owned that home. How you doing? We haven't owned that home in 15 years. But I still periodically pass by that house because that is the first home I ever knew, right? And they messed the house up, changed the colors, painted it different. I want to knock on the door and be like, look, this still my house because it's still my home, right? Yeah. See, it ain't my house, but it's still my home. I want to see what y'all done to this thing, but I don't do that. But, so home, what I've discovered is that home is where you feel comfortable. And I think Adrian and I had talked about that before. Home is where you feel comfortable. Home is not only just familiar surroundings, but it's where you feel safe. It's where you have security, right? You feel, so you can feel, so the reason why New Orleans is home, right, is because I'm so familiar. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's working. Okay, bam. It's because I'm so familiar with New Orleans, right? I can walk the streets asleep. But that's not the entire definition of home. Because the whole time I was there, I was ready to leave. And you ain't always ready to leave home. I was ready to leave. So home has to be more than just, for me, than just familiarity. There must be a certain emotional connection to it. So I got back to Josie and I was like, oh man, it feels good to be home. We back in South Africa, we home. And the house felt good and all that. But the moment I dropped Adrian off at the airport and I drove to the house, it no longer felt like a home. You understand? So home to me is where you have a connection with people who know you on the most intimate level. I ain't talking sexually. I'm talking about the intimate level, who knows your ups, your downs, you know, your highs, your lows. They understand the crust of you, right? So when I got back to the house, I felt alone, and you should never feel alone at home. So what I realized, and what I always knew, there's an old video that we put out, and in that video I think I was telling the story of how Adrian and I met or whatever have you, and how long we've known each other. Y'all know I'm 44. I've known Adrian since I was 20 years old, so more than half my life. So it feels real funny, and we together every day, so it feels real funny when she's not with me, you know. But I was telling this story that I would have never chosen to move anywhere had not I had Adrian, right? So back to this concept of home, right? 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to get out the gate and all that good stuff. So, home with Adrian, and I don't know, I kind of lost my track because it's been like 2 minutes since I paused it and had to come out the gate. But with Adrian, home is anywhere she is for me, right? After knowing a person since you're 20 years old, right? Anywhere she is, and which is very, very interesting, because there's a Bible verse that says, a man should leave from his mother and cleave to his wife. Come on, somebody, touch your name. I said, leave from his mother and cleave to his wife. Touch your neighbor and say, so that's right. So that's right. I don't care if you're at work, touch your neighbor. Say, so that's right. All right. Which is interesting because at 18, 19, 20 years old, I thought that home was wherever my mother was, right? Whatever house she was in, or the house that we grew up in. And now home is wherever I am together with my wife, right? So we are finding home. That's why I think I'm going to title this video, Finding Home in South Africa. You know, we are getting from it, like it can't be Josie, because I am so unfamiliar with most of the city. We know how to get from, I know how to get from like Midrand to Braamfontein by myself, right? No GPS. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Josie. There's so many parts of Josie that I haven't even seen, don't even know about. There's so many things to do. The city is so big. So the familiarity with Josie can't make Josie home, right? It's not that Josie is not home. Me being familiar, because I'm not familiar. So that's not the reason why Josie is home, or why South Africa is home. The reason why we are finding home in South Africa is because it is a place where Adrian and I both felt a connection, a peace, a sense of belonging, but together. That's the key. That's the key. We found that together, right? Like together we enjoy this place. Together we find things to do. Together we find a sense of belonging. Had I visited Josie as a single man and non-married, no family, you know, I don't know. I love Josie. I love South Africa. I love being here. But would I have found home, right? And that's another very most curious thing is that I think we will, you know, let me say this. There are a lot of people who have come and they're, you know, I'm traveling and I'm in Africa, I'm trying to connect and all that good stuff, but they're by themselves, right? They're by themselves. I have the benefit of having a built-in best friend wherever I go. So even if I came to Josie and met nobody, didn't know any South Africans, didn't hang out with anybody, stayed in my house, I have a companion that would be my friend, right? To death do us part. At least that's the vow we took, you know? To death do us part. And all y'all fellas be in my comments talking about how pretty my wife is. When I said to death do us part, I ain't specify who had to die, big dog. Keep playing. Oh, Adrian is so beautiful. I ain't specify who had to die. Nah, when I said to death do us part, I'm just joking with y'all. But yeah, man. So yeah, finding home. So I also read some interesting articles. Shout out to Lazy. Sent me an article that said that more and more people are finding South Africa as a great place to retire, and all of these thousands and thousands of retirement visa applications. I think it was almost 4,000, 3,600, something like that, and 499 were rejected. Some are still pending, and then like 1,500 or so were approved. And yeah, that should tell you, South African family, like, y'all be so hard. Oh man, this is the worst country. It is falling apart. And that's both black and white South Africans. So I don't want y'all to say it's just, nah, I be hearing it from both sides. This is the worst country. Yet, all these applications to come and retire here. Well, why they not retiring in Europe? I mean, why they not retiring in Central and South America? No, they had I think the three. I know it was the UK, USA, and another country that were like one of the three of the five top. The three. It was three of the top five countries, whatever it was, that had the visa applications. Yeah, why they not retiring in all of these? So all the places that y'all look at, I wanna go to America. Yeah, Americans retiring here, and we keep trying to tell you. Better appreciate what you have, right? And I understand everybody's life is different here in South Africa. Everybody's not living in gated community. I understand. Oh, but when I tell you, you have one of the most beautiful countries. No, we have one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We have some of the best people in the world, right? The landscape, the listen, even in Johannesburg, honestly, the mixture of people, because Johannesburg is such a multicultural and very diverse city. Even though it's a super majority black, you still see Asians, whites, Indians, right? Which really reflects the like developed first world countries, their major cities, right? So very interesting, man. And then another thing was, all right, let me cross the street without getting killed. Hold on. Yeah, so the other article I saw was South Africa. I don't know if it wasn't the BBC. It was maybe the Telegraph, something like that. Said that South Africa is the #1 country in the world to be a tourist or to visit for tourism. Visit the #1 country, not the USA. All the black folks in the USA love going down to the Dominican Republic and to the Cayman Islands and Turks and Caicos. None of them places. Not Sweden. No. Not anywhere in the UK. Not Scotland. Not anywhere. It was South Africa. And I think they had, like, out of the top 10, I think they had 3 or 4 African nations on that list. But South Africa was #1. Which again should tell you the jewel that you have. But back to the home, we see tourists as well as retirees finding home in South Africa. Yeah, hold on. So sidebar, this is just amazing to me. So I'm walking outside of Kyalami, and I thought this was just like dirt, but that shit, that shit was fall. Yeah, I thought it was hard rock. Yeah, y'all see that? Yeah, I thought it was hard rock. Oh no, but yeah, that's an accident waiting to happen. That's an accident waiting to happen right there. I know the people pass and be like, why he laughing so hard talking to a camera? I don't know. But they don't know I'm talking to my family. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. It's about 19 minutes and I got about another. So yeah, we still on Operation Make on Fine again. And if you watch this long, this 19 minutes, you are a soldier. Bam, 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 just like that, you are a soldier. So, but yeah, we still on Operation Make Unc Fine again. And I've been doing well. I've been doing these long walks every day. and doing a little weight training. Y'all, I used to lift heavy weights. And I mean like benching. Let me see. Oh, I'm getting tired. Benching like 305, like 305 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilos. Y'all do the math. Y'all, I'll give y'all a moment. Y'all do the math. All right, yeah, that's what it is. So, and heavy on the pull-ups and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about years ago, like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, 2022. Yeah. I was heavy on the heavy weights, but my joints would always be hurting. I couldn't scratch my back. My mobility was trash. So I was strong and weak at the same time, right? Big, strong, but couldn't move. No, I couldn't shook. You know what they call them? I shook them on the bench. I couldn't do that. No, I was just big. So now I'm trying a new approach. Drinking a lot of water, which I need some right now. And I do light jogging, and then I do these long walks, right? Adrian and I, that's why y'all see us do these long walks. And I'm using very light just to work out my shoulders, my arms. Very light. And watching what I eat. So that's the hardest part, because working out has never been a problem. It's pushing back from the dinner table. It's saying no to that second bowl of ice cream, right? It's choosing water over the sugary drink, right? It's the breads, it's the pastas. Yeah. I'm out here lifting, repping 275 7-8 times, and feeling I'm the baddest man on the planet. But a slice of bread and butter or some pasta and rice is whipping my behind, right? So it's the diet change that I'm trying to focus on right now and improve. Let me see if I can get it this way. All right, I think I'm coming into the shade so that the light will change and then arm will stop hurting. So yeah, it's the diet change. So I've been choosing fruit. I've been choosing water. I've been choosing like chicken, grilled chicken over fried chicken, and ignoring the pastas and the rice and the fried hamburgers and the chips, right? So and I'm trying to get down just maybe 10, 15 pounds. Nothing spectacular. In 2019, when I visited Josie, South Africa the first time, I was 195 pounds. 195. Yes. 195 pounds. Can you believe it? I was doing something called intermittent fasting. And I was just like eating one meal a day. We Muslims, so fasting is no big deal for us. I had fasted for many years, but this was like literally OMAD, one meal a day. And I had dropped so much weight. Then went over by, I was in Houston, passed by Houston, so I'm a frat brother. He was like, man, you slim, bro, you need some muscles, right? So I used to lift weights prior to that, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna get back on the weights. And it's two things. You cannot build muscle without gaining weight, without actually eating to feed the muscle, right? So I started lifting these heavy weights again, and it was fine because I was working out. I'm putting on weight, but I was working out, so I was in good shape, running fast and all that good stuff. And my goal was to just, put on weight, get bigger. I don't remember what my goal was. But once we sold the house, I used to go to the gym in New Orleans. I would go to the gym every day and spend hours in the gym. Now, a lot of those hours, I was on my phone scrolling, you know, trying to get the right music or the right podcast. But yeah, so but around August when we sold the home last year, you know, like, stopped working out. My diet changed drastically because we were kind of homeless going between Houston and New Orleans, because I didn't want to be in New Orleans. So I could have stayed at my parents' house, but I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be outside of that city. So I was in Houston, and but we were going back and forth. I'm eating, and that's back to finding home. Imagine, I didn't have a home. The house that I knew from our entire marriage was no longer ours. So I didn't have a house, let me say that. But, so I didn't have a house. We were technically homeless, right? Because we had nowhere to stay. We didn't have a lease or anything. We just had an apartment. But I always knew where home was, because home was in the passenger seat with me, riding next to me. So, yeah, Adrian is home. So, anyway, we started going to like fast food, McDonald's and Whataburger. Whataburger is a burger chain in Texas. And you know, just started eating all the wrong stuff, not working out. And I lied to myself, man, as soon as I get to South Africa, I'm gonna join Virgin Active. I'm working out every day. And I started for about a week, but man, it's just a relaxing, just a good life that we had. And I got lazy. I said, man, I ain't going to no gym. I'm gonna go tomorrow. Tomorrow just turned into I ain't never returned, and gained a lot of weight. So now it's time to get it off and get back to myself. You know, get back to feeling good, trying to live a long life. You know, trying to live long, be here to see my grandchildren, right? And all that good stuff. But it's 27, oh Lord, it's 27 more minutes. Family, y'all have a good one. Peace.